pretty sure by now you have subscribed, right? Anyway, and so I'm going to talk about one of the topics that is very, 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 very on my heart because I work with children. I listen to how some parents talk about their children, how some teachers relate to their children, and think those children are dumb when it's just a challenge, it's a difficulty, it's a disorder that just needs help and support. And so today we are talking about learning disabilities. I'm pretty sure some of you may already be familiar with some of them, but then you probably know that this is what it is or this is what I have to look out for. And so one thing I just want you to know is that all of this, yes, most if not all, are usually connected to the neurodevelopmental of the children, okay? So it goes up there in the brain. And so it's how they process things, how they understand things. So let's dive right into it. The first we're going to talk about is dyslexia, okay? And this is more connected to words, reading difficulties. So there are some few things that you need to look out for to know, whether this child has dyslexia or not. And so the first one, these children usually have difficulty learning letters and their corresponding sounds. They have difficulty organizing spoken and written language. They have difficulty reading quickly enough to comprehend. They have difficulty with spelling, and then they have difficulty with keeping up and following longer assignments. And so take your time and listen to all these things and observe your child. If you're a teacher, observe the children in your classroom. Which of them is having difficulty with, reading words, letters, sounds? And then you'll be like, this child is doing so well in math. Why are they failing in English? And you are not good. No, come on. It's just a disorder, okay? And so the next one is dyscalculia. Yes, dyscalculia. And then it's more connected with numbers and then understanding of maths. So it's, mathematics and numbers. So what will let you know that this child has this particular disorder? The first one, difficulty organizing objects and sets of items logically. And then difficulty recognizing printed numbers. They have poor counting skills, difficulty remembering math facts. So anything about maths, it's confusing. You tell them to write 3, they will write it the other way around. You tell them to write 6, they will write it the other way around. Anything about numbers, you tell them this is 1. Tomorrow you come and ask them what is this, they don't know. It is not their fault. It is a disorder. And then we have some of them, they are good at counting, but then their calculation skills are poor. So they can say the word 1, 2, 3, 4 to 100. Now give them 1 plus 1 and they don't know what it is. It's not that they are not smart, because these children are probably doing well in other fields. It's because they have a condition, okay? There are other things that, they have difficulty understanding math concepts. They have mental. If you do mental with them, they would always feel like they can't just put those things together. It is not their fault. It is up there, neuro. So that's how they were born, okay? Then we have another one. That's dysgraphia. And it's, difficulty in written expressions, handwriting, and spelling. So a child could either probably have just the written expression, or handwriting, or spelling, or could have all three, okay? And then with them, this is what you know, that your child has this particular condition. So they have good reading, but then poor writing skills. So they can read. Give them any storybook in the world, they will read it. Like graphic, whatever it is, but ask them to write and writing. Oh my God, terrible. It's not their fault. Or they avoid writing, they avoid drawing, they avoid coloring. Anything that involves, they avoid it. And then they have an awkward way of holding the pencil. Like, you're trying to correct this child and still, it's a condition, it's not their fault. Some of them, they will write slow, and like you can see, they are struggling to, that's part of it, it's dysgraphia, okay? And then their writing looks immature. Probably this child is in JHS. You're expecting them to write, and they're writing and you're like, what is this? It's not their fault. And then poor sentence and paragraph structure. Okay, all these conditions, how to read handwriting, everything about reading, writing, spelling. If you notice that a child has challenges with that, and like I'm saying, they're probably good at other fields, but in this particular aspect, they are not doing well. It means that they probably need attention. Okay, you can see a specialist to help you understand this and to know what to do. because there's always a way around it, okay? And then the next thing is attention deficit hyperactive disorder, commonly known as ADHD. I'm pretty sure most of you have heard about this, yes. And this one has to do more with attention, impulses, and then concentration. So how do you know that your child has ADHD? So they have difficulty focusing on a task or individual tasks. So you give them a task and they have difficulty focusing on it. You see them doing every other thing. Tell them to sit there and do their way, they will never do it. That is one. They easily get distracted. So you are reading this book with this child and the child just keeps looking around. Or you are reading and there's probably something on the table and the child is focused on that thing on the table and not what you are doing. That is one aspect. Or they are always losing or misplacing things. So you give them a handkerchief today, tomorrow you have to give them, tomorrow you have to give them. You give them a pencil, even their uniform. If they go and play football, they will come back home and they're just wearing singlets. Some are behavioral, okay, but then there are some that you realize that this behavior is continuous. You are doing everything, you are punishing the child, you are still, okay? And then some also, they have difficulty in planning and organizing. So you tell the child to like arrange the things in their room and it's always a mess. It's like you wonder whether that was like, that is one of it. And then some of them have difficulty in managing emotions such as frustration and boredom. They just don't know, like they got frustrated, they don't know how to control, how to manage it. All these things. When you start seeing them in the child or you already have noticed them in the child, then it means that the child probably has ADHD. And so don't sit at home and say, okay, I listened to this from, Caregivers, and so you have this condition, you have that. No. Take the child to see a specialist and then let them go through all the things that they have to go through. Then the child can be diagnosed and they'll help you to know what to do to help that child. So we'll take a quick break and then we'll come back and finish with the other three.
I will say thanks, and you.
Okay, so welcome back. Let's continue. So the next one is developmental coordination disorder, DCD. And so this is more of a motor skills disorder, okay? Motor, so everything that involves movement, that is motor skills. Okay, so usually this disorder affects their academic work and their daily life. So it's like a holistic kind of thing, okay? And so these are some of the things that would help you know whether your child has DCD, developmental coordination disorder. And so your child has an awkward or clumsy movements, like the child just walks anyhow. I mean, like, walk like a lady. That is not her fault, okay? And then has difficulty with tasks that require fine motor skills. For example, writing, cutting, buttoning, clothing, tying of their shoelace, or gross motor activities like running. The child is running and is already falling, is not working well. You ask them to cut here and they are cutting there. You ask them to lace their shoes and it's a mess. Sometimes, yes, some children do not know, but this is a child that you have taught the child is grown to a particular age, okay? So it's called developmental coordination disorder because as the children develop, you expect to see certain things, certain improvements. When you're not seeing those things at some ages, then it's a challenge, it's a problem, you get me? Okay, and so another thing is has difficulty picking up new skills and may need repetition to help them learn. So any new skill you teach that child, you have to teach them and teach them and teach them and teach them over and over before they will pick the skill. Or they have difficulty using learned skills in different ways. So you teach them that, okay, this is how you lace your shoe. That is all they know. If you try to, this is how they have learned it. They can't probably go and lace something else. They can't go and probably lace a dress, like if the dress has lace and they can't, it's just a shoe they know how to lace. So whatever they have learned is like, it just stays on that one thing they have learned. That is one other thing you can use. Or has difficulty moving around without bumping into others or objects. So the child is working for you, realize, like hitting things, the child has always, it's like the feet is always hurt, like there's always something wrong. Always bumping into people and other things. That is one other thing to help you know. They avoid tasks they find difficult, such as writing. So anything that is difficult, they will just avoid. It doesn't matter the motivation, it doesn't matter what you give them, they will avoid it. Then some have difficulty getting changed for sports or swimming activities. So they can't, like their friends have all come to the changing room and they can't do it. It's not because they don't want to do it, it's a disorder. And then the last I'm going to say is the struggle getting items in order or out of their bags, especially if they are hanging on hooks or they're just trying to get them out of their bag. They struggle with it. So like this child is in your class and you're like, oh, bring out your snack, and that child is like can't open it. Don't tell them that you are so dumb, you are so slow. Come on, it's not their fault. Okay, and so the next one is developmental language disorder, and this is difficulty with the comprehension and use of words and sentences to convey information and ideas. So they do not even understand what you are saying. To even break it down and explain it, like you tell them, okay, you read a story to them, so come and tell me something about the story or summary. What you mean when they don't understand? How do they even summarize and even tell you back? Okay, or they are probably trying to explain how they feel or trying to explain something they saw and it's like and it's a challenge. Okay, and then the last one is auditory processing disorder. So if I say auditory, you already understand, so hearing, so everything that is connected to hearing. And so these are some of the things that would help you know that your child has this disorder. So delay language development, because they can't hear, so how do they speak? You understand? Or they are not hearing you clearly. Because don't forget, especially babies, they start to babble and make all those things because they are trying to imitate what you are doing. So if they are not hearing, what are they going to imitate? Then they have poor ability to listen effectively. Okay, and so some of these children may have difficulty in sequencing sounds of words. Some will have trouble differentiating between similar sounds. Some they have short attention span, difficulty in following instructions, poor memory for oral information. So you tell them to do something and then it's like, you don't even remember. Mommy, what did you say I should get again? And like, okay, go to the kitchen, get me a bottle of water. You go, come back. Mommy, what did you say again? The child is not like trying to be naughty or stubborn. They probably really genuinely did not get you. And then poor spelling, reading and comprehension, behavioral problems, and then social difficulties. Because if you don't understand what people are doing, if you are not able to process it well, how are you able to socialize and mingle with them? And so let's not forget that, like I am saying, all these are learning difficulties, okay? And it's more new, it's up there. And some children may have one, some may have two, some may have a bit of, this, it depends. But what matters is, I just want you to take your time and to know the children you are with. Parents and teachers, this is very, very, very important to me, because once you understand these things, it will help you know how to deal with different kinds of children in your class. If it's a parent, it will help you know how to deal with your children. Because sometimes you hear parents say, and this my child, he's smart, but this one, dear, he doesn't even want to read. Just pay attention and see a specialist so that they can help you know what is wrong with your child. If it is a disorder, they will help you. If it is just, behavioral or laziness, they will know what to do to help you. But please and please, don't say your child is dumb or your child is not bright. No. Every child is special. Every child is unique. Some children with special needs condition may have some of these developmental delays we are talking about, or some of these learning disabilities. But some children are not special needs, but they just have some of these things. Let's pay attention and let's help our children develop in the best way they can. The child may not be good in math and may be good in reading. Help them, push them towards that way. They can go into journalism. The child is good with math, okay? Push them. There are a lot of things they can do with that. Let's not limit our children. Let's allow them to be open, and even in their challenges and their difficulties, let's help them build on the good things, the ones that they are good at. Okay, there's a popular saying that you can't train the fish to climb. If you are having a competition between the fish and the monkey, you're telling them to climb, the fish would obviously fail. If you're asking the monkey and the fish to swim, the fish would obviously win. So it's the same way. Your children are different. Don't expect the same, like two children, because you born them, so they should all be the same. No. So I'm a bit passionate about this, pardon me, but really, I get sad when I see teachers talk to their children in certain ways, or I hear parents say certain things. It's so heartbreaking. But then, yes, so this is where I will bring today's topic up, today's discussion. This is where I'll end it. So this is where we are ending today's discussion on. But then in our next discussion, discussion in our next episode, in our next video. I'm going to talk about something way different from parenting, and then we'll get back to the parenting train again, okay? And so I'm not going to tell you what it is. I would want you to wait and see it. But don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to share, don't forget to like, and please, I would love to hear your comments. Okay, if there's something you want to talk about, there's something you want to share, there's something that, give you that do let me know, and I will definitely work on it if it's something you want me to actually discuss, okay? And so thank you so much for watching this video. My name is Sabina, but you can call me Miss Moore, yes. Okay, and so I'm Discover and Learn. Bye!